Embrapa also have virtual laboratories abroad in USA and Europe to facilitate the collaboration and partnerships. And the public corporation with a social role, which contributes to ensuring the supply of higher quality and quantity of agri-food products, promoting food security for Brazilian population, conserving Brazilian biomes, natural resources and biodiversity, enabling the rational use of water in agriculture, combine socioeconomic development with environmental conservation, boosting regional development and promoting the well-being being of the population rural workers. Well, and this is the work we do with sweet potato, and I'll present here the world and Brazil scenarios, sweet potato breeding, crop challenges, and breeding tools developed. I brought these pictures to show you that we have different kinds of producers in Brazil. We have small producers, we have big producers that has a lot of technology, and they have large areas like this one, and with irrigation and mechanization, and small ones with no mechanization and small areas produced. And different kind of sweet potato produced in every region, and specific demands for kinds of sweet potato too. Well, and how is the world scenarios for sweet potato? Even though sweet potato origin is in the middle of America and the north of Latin America, the biggest producer is China, with more than 70% of the world production, okay? You don't see any other Latin American countries here among the biggest producers. Brazil is here in the 14th position. And about the biggest exporters, United States is the biggest sweet potato exporter, mainly to Europe, okay? And Brazil is starting to export sweet potato and is the 20th position. Well, what about in Brazil? Well, we produce sweet potato in all the country, from north to south, but the biggest producers are the state of São Paulo in the first place. But it really changed in the past 5 years. Like it tripled the production, mainly because of the demand for special nutritional diets and for gym workouts. People that work out like to eat sweet potato, and they demand more sweet potato from the market, especially in São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. And then after São Paulo, Rio Grande do Sul is the second biggest producer of sweet potato. But it has like been one of the most consumers too for a long time. And then the third place is the state of Ceará. As big regions of Brazil, the Northeast is the biggest consumer of sweet potato, and it's a different kind of consumer. There's small farmers. They consume in the breakfast as the first meal. So really different kind of people or of kind of consumers all over Brazil, okay? And also the yield is really different among the states. We have high yielding in the state of Paraná, And this is because of the technology used for the production, okay? And the main exporters are São Paulo, Minas Gerais, São Paulo, and Paraná. Mainly to Uruguay, Argentina, and then Europe. Because Brazil, we can produce sweet potato all year round, but in Uruguay and Argentina, in some periods, they import from Brazil. Okay, and the indicators that we used to produce much more sweet potato in the beginning, well, 1974, and then we reduced the consumption. But in 2012, this changed, mainly because of the information about the nutritional quality of sweet potato. The demand increased, and so here is, you can see in the production graphic, and this is the yield graphic. We used to had a lower yield. Now it's increasing, and the area too. Well, with all these nutritional characteristics of sweet potato presented, why don't we have a greater investment in crop production and processing technology? It's a hard question to answer, but mainly because we have different kinds of producers and a lot of technology that it's not used by the producers. Well, as I'm a breeder, we use breeding technologies to develop better cultivars and to attend the demands in each production region of Brazil, okay? Since we have different specialties here in the public, basically we select parents, we generate genetic variability, and we create populations. From this population, we select the best clones with the characteristics, with the traits that we desire, and then we fixate by clonal propagation the best plants. And then this is always working as a cycle. Normally, we don't know how is the sweet potato flower. This is the sweet potato fruit, okay? It's not the root. And this is the dried fruit with the seeds, okay? Just for curiosity. And since we have a short time, I'm gonna explain one of the issues we have in Brazil with nematodes. It is a problem because it lowers the productivity of the crop. It damages the roots, and some of them present cracks on the root. So it's not possible to commercialize. There are three kinds of nematodes from meleidogeny that causes this kind of issues on sweet potato. Well, the North Carolina University has mapped two key tails for resistance to meleidogeny incognita and meleidogeny enterolobi, two species of this kind of nematode. But the problem is in sweet potato, which is a polyploid species, an exapolyploid, so we have 6 copies of the genome, you have a great complexity, and it's really harder to study its genomics. This is brought this as an example. This is a study from the North Carolina State University. If you had a diploid here, as it is for maize, you'd have like 3 lines here. One for homozygous AA, one line for heterozygous AB and one line for homozygous double B. Since you have 6 genomes, as you can see here, this is the absence of the G. Here you have 1 G, 2 Gs, 3 Gs, 4, 5, and 6. So you have 7 classes in total, okay? And in the mapping of these traits and important traits as the resistance to root knot nematode, you can use the dosage of the alleles on this on each genotype. So you can see in the lines here, each dosage as I showed you here, okay? So now, after these key tails were mapped in North Carolina sweet potato breeding population, we are validating them in the Brazilian sweet potato population. As you can see here, those are the SNPs, is a kind of marker that we are using for the validation. The resistance for nematodes are oligogenic character traits. So you don't have many classes as you do in other traits. Those are quality traits of sweet potato in these other SNPs here. And as you can see, we have a good distribution in this population. And if we finish this study and we find out that it is validated and these markers work in our population, we can select and advance these cycles faster. We normally take about 8 to 10 years to get to a new cultivar. If you use a marker, you can advance and get to it earlier. In the classical breeding, I only know if the genotype is resistant or not to the nematode in the end of the program, because it's really hard to phenotype. And if I use the markers, I can pre-select only the genotypes that are resistant to this nematode. Well, I'll go really fast. Just for example, the other traits that are already been mapped are beta-carotene, starch, and dry matter, which are really important for sweet potato production in Brazil. I was talking earlier with Joanna, Brazil doesn't like the moisture in the sweet potato. We prefer drier sweet potato. If we want to introduce beta-carotene in Brazilian sweet potato production in the undernourished populations, we would have to have this beta-carotene along with dry matter, okay? And also for the industry. As you can see, this is the major processing lines of sweet potato in Brazil, or for ships. I think you have seen here too, I don't know. But we don't have much, we don't process very much. But we need to understand better our genotypes and try to add value to the production, okay? So we are studying flower from anthocyanin, purple flesh sweet potatoes, which are rich in anthocyanins. This is one of the cultivars we released last year. And we also have a research with pigments from sweet potato, which can be used in place of the industrialized pigments, okay? And just one more thing here, show that this is the same cultivar and different kind of process. So the breeding program doesn't work alone. We have a big team of researchers working together. So we have everything, we need to have everything well studied to get the best product to deliver to the market. Okay. This is just to show you all the possibilities that and all the opportunities that we can have with sweet potato. Different kinds of color combinations and flavors, and it's really, really very beautiful. I'm in love with this, but we have a lot to do to deliver this to the market. Okay. We have some partnership with SIP in Peru with germplasm introduction and technical staff exchange. With INEA, I was trained there by the breeder, so I consider this was a partnership in Latin America. Embrapa is really working with partnerships with many different institutions. So we have a lot of agreements. Just to show you, we are open for this kind of partnerships. The vision for the future that Embrapa has, so sustainability, adaptation to climate change, digital agriculture, technological intensification, concentration of production, quick changes in consumption and added value, biorevolution, integration of knowledge and technologies, increasing governances and risks. Okay. I'll go fast here. If you want to know about Embrapa and our research, technical reports, you can access here in all this media. And there's the barcode here. Okay, thank you.
Explora más contenidos de tu interés. No olvides suscribirte a nuestro canal.